We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. This defense for the Bears, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Flush to his right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. Operating from the gun, Watson eluding the pressure right. Caught out right by Renfro. And he is going to have a Colts first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4 and he got 4 on third down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A handoff for Etienne. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. So, CD, you talk about this football team, some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here, and then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet, what am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's a give to Etienne. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Etienne on the toss right.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Watson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
They'll try the air now with Watson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Bears are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Now a 1st down throw, Fields. They'll roll him out right. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
On 1st down, it's Fields. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll run for the 1st time with Raheem Mostert. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Rolling to his right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms. But I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover or takeaway, a key sack on 3rd down, a 3-and-out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Now Mostert. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
We're scoreless after 1. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Fields now to throw. Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Mostert. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop it right around the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. Again, it's Mostert. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Raheem Mostert taking it in from a yard out, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Back to throw. Watson. Buying time to his... Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Now it's Fields. Forced out to his left. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On 1st down, Fields. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. It's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Watson escaping the pressure right. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Watson. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big connection on that one, 36 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And this one's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Draw play, Etienne. Hard running at the 15. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Looking to throw. Watson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon, and think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Off play action, Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Flushed out right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked by Jared Wilson. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. Second down at 5. Back to throw. Watson. Flush to his right. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Noah Fant with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is down to 4. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Fields. This one caught by Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Eluding the pressure right. And Sharp calls it in. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So that challenge, a successful one. Looking to throw again on second down. Fields dancing to his left. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Again, Fields. And that is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On play action, Fields. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. And that's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 43.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Play action. It's Fields. Flushed out right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
On 2nd down, Mostert. A nice little juke. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On first down, they go with Mostert again. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Here's Fields. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. To throw is Fields. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. There he goes, right side. 20. Oh! And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Well, I think think we all know that turnovers have a way of deciding games, and before you say something snarky, I realize that's not particularly astute. But in this case, how about the evidence right here in the third quarter? They've got the lead, moving the football, things looking good, and then...
Yeah, so now a flip on the scoreboard with that pick 6, and I don't know, the rest of the second half shaping up to be very interesting. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Solomon Thomas. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Fields on first down. From the left side, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. A handoff running left is Mostert. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 85 yards rushing for him in this one, and he is drawing ever closer to a 2,000-yard season. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he'll go down at the 28.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll run right side with Mostert. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Returning it, John Ross. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. And they will finally get him down. How about that return? They'll be set up well as time has run out in this third quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Etienne with it. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run. It's Etienne. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off. Because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
Running the counter with Mostert. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 131 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Mostert. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
2nd and 5 now. Fields. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Had a chance to give themselves there some important wiggle room, but went awry.
Yeah, let's do the simple math here. And you know, for me, it has to be simple. Instead of this thing kind of giving them that wiggle room you talked about, now we're talking about possibly losing a ball game because they left the door open.
Joey Bosa in on the stop.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Watson. Flush to his right. Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. A handoff for Etienne. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw, Watson. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 33.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Watson. Eluding the pressure. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Hassan Reddick in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Watson. This is the tight end fan. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 3rd down, and a field goal from here would be right about 50 yards as they try to get closer. Watson to throw. Open man, that's Renfro. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Hunter Renfro, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are once again going to retake the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences, and this is what they work on.
He's got a man, complete, and he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big play that time through the air, 31 yards. And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. They'll look to throw. And that's complete to Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
He's back to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Fields. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Back to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. It's a run with Mostert. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15. It takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. One last throw here for Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. Well, going into the final play of this